Hey, good morning. It's Melissa again. I wanted to answer another question that was asked over email. And that's this problem right here. We have w cubed plus 1/8, and the directions are to factor. Okay, when you're dealing with a fraction like this, okay, actually, let me take a step back. Remember your factoring flow diagram. You're always going to ask yourself the question, is there a greatest common factor? There's not in this problem, so we're going to ask ourselves, how many terms are there? We go down here and there's 2 terms, right? So we're taking a look at trying to get it to fit one of these formulas right here. And it's actually going to fit this sum of cubes formula. And what tells me that is because of the w being cubed and also the plus sign, and then I can write the 1/8 in the form of something cubed. And that's what I was starting to talk about, is when you have a fraction like this and you want to write it as something cubed, you actually want to work with the top and the bottom separately. Okay, so you're going to think about, how can I write the number 1 as something cubed? And then you're going to think about, how can I write the number 8 as something cubed, and work with them separately to start. So this would be, excuse me, w cubed plus, it would be 1 cubed in the top and 2 cubed in the bottom. Okay, so just thinking about those numbers separately, and then what I can do is use one of the exponent rules from chapter 4 to actually write this as a quantity cubed. So we could say this is w cubed plus 1/2, this whole thing being cubed. Okay. And the reason for that is because we had a rule that said when you have a fraction like this taken to some power, it's both the numerator taken to that power and the denominator taken to that power. And I've just sort of used that rule in reverse. Okay, so now I can actually identify the a and the b in my formula. The a, what's being cubed in this formula, is the w. So here's our formula right here. What's being cubed is the w, and what's being cubed right here is the 1/2. Okay, so in my formula, let me just write it out. It's a plus b, a squared minus ab plus b squared. In my formula then, everywhere there's an a, I want to plug in w. Everywhere there's a b, I want to plug in 1/2. Okay, so it's going to look like this. It's going to look like w plus 1/2. That's the a plus the b. And then a squared, so w squared, minus a times b, I'm going to write it as b times a, 1/2 w, and then plus the b squared. So that's actually 1/2 squared, okay, because we're squaring the whole b. Well, on the next line, I'm actually going to square both the top and the bottom. That's using this rule in the way that you learned in chapter 4. So this is going to become w plus 1/2 times w squared minus 1/2 w, and then when I square the top, 1 squared, oops, sorry about that. When I square the top, it's 1 squared is 1, and 2 squared is 4. Okay, so that would be my factorization for that problem.